I'm Ann Petherick, and I'm a nurse and a nursing education video editor, wife, mom, grandma. Started running when I was about 22. I worked in ICU, and it's a good way to burn off energy, and that's what we did for fun. The nurses would run races and started back then and got hooked on it. My mother was a nurse, and her sister was a nurse, and my cousin was a nurse, and I moved to Atlanta to become a nurse to go to school. 30 years in ICU, 35 really. I love taking care of patients. I had a house full of t-shirts. I had a closet full of Peachtree t-shirts. They meant a lot to me. I needed to do something with them, and I decided to make a quilt. My husband found just t-shirt quilts. I called and spoke with Kyle on the phone. She made it so possible. She told me exactly what would be involved. It was very matter of fact, and even when I didn't ask the right questions, she answered them and let me know what I needed to know. So I just felt really comfortable with her, how to put these t-shirts together. It's very different from a regular quilt because you've got so many different patterns. When you make a quilt, you can match your colors and prints and everything so that they go together. But my t-shirts were different every year. I didn't know where to start, and I knew if I cut into one t-shirt, I would ruin it. And you earn these t-shirts, you can't just buy one. When I laid them out in years, like in order of the year I ran it, they did not look good. So I packed them all back up in the box and went down to see Kyle. She explained the process. She showed me around, showed me the business, showed me how she works. She's got all the modern technology. She showed me her big computer screen and how she starts. She got right down to basics. This is what I start with. You know, this is how big it will be, depending on how many t-shirts you have. How many t-shirts do you have, Ann? And I didn't even know that for sure. From there, we started the process, and she told me that it would be, several months, and she kept in touch with me the whole time, let me know when she was ready to cut into the t-shirts, and she asked me what I wanted on there, what did I want preserved, and I told her I want the logo, but I wanted the date. She called me when all the t-shirts were cut. She had laid them out and taken pictures. She had cut the pieces so that they fit together in a way that was aesthetic and where the colors went together well. And that's something I would not really have been able to do very well myself. Also, I did not know how to pull it together, so she explained about sashing and about borders, which I knew about those, but I had no idea what color sashing would work. So she put them all together on her computer in the color for the backing and the color for the front and what size it was going to be. She was able to lay it out and tell me what size it would be. When I picked the quilting out, it was a pattern. I saw a pattern of a couple running together, and that's when I realized this quilt really needed to be not just my quilt, but a quilt about our journey together. And I wanted Gary included. But he'd been there with me for 28 of those peach trees and some of those half marathons. Gary and I decided that we wanted it in the bedroom where I could look at it all the time. My husband and I hung it up on the wall, and that's when I realized how beautiful it was. And just to stand back and look at it, it was like, wow. Even today, as y'all could see when you were looking at it today, I haven't memorized it, so new things keep popping out. With it, memories, a lot of them are, the times that I ran. But every day, it's like a new quilt. I know that I can pass it on, but for right now, I use it for inspiration. I use it to keep me going. This is where I can sit while I'm dressing in the mornings, look at this and remind me that I can get up even when I don't want to, and get my shoes on. I put my shoes on right here so that I can see this and be reminded that yes, even though I'm getting older and it may be cold, the weather may be bad, this reminds me I can keep going. In 2019, I had heart surgery on my birthday. I had quintuple bypass. And 6 weeks later, this was the 50th running of the Peachtree, and I walked it with my husband. This is one I'm probably the proudest of. And look, these are all runners. She quilted it with runners. I picked this pattern out and I thought that it was lovely. But you know a funny story? Kyle called me as she was finished and putting the backing on it. And she said, you might want to look at this it looks like they don't have arms. And I had never noticed that before, because when you run, your arms are up, and so I didn't pay it any attention, but she looked at it and said, they don't have arms. So because she brought it to my attention, I got, questioning myself. So this went through all my family members. Does this look like armless people to you? One by one came back and said, no, Mom, that's what you look like when you're running. But that's how sharp she is. I mean, she would even pick something like that up, and at that late a date in the quilt making process, be willing to change it. This one is 1991, and I believe it's the first peach tree that's on here. And when I got the quilt back, I was looking it all over, and I noticed that there was no date on here. But the date was really important to me. Kyle didn't even blink. You will never be able to tell it, but she added the date. She went back through all the scrap, found the piece of t-shirt that was left, found the date, and attached it with it, so you can't even tell it's there. Oh, I would definitely recommend just t-shirt quilts. I didn't have a lot of experience with others, but I talked to several companies on the phone, and it sounded to me as though they were business. But when I talked to Kyle, it became apparent to me that she had an understanding of what this quilt would mean to me personally, and the quilts that she had done for other people. As she walked me around the office, she pointed out quilts that she had made, and through the discussion of these quilts came human beings. So I was amazed. She wasn't just showing me a catalog of quilts that she had made. She had quilts hanging on her wall, and she could talk about the people that went with those quilts. And it's the truth. She did. Each one of those quilts was a human being to her, and something. Their t-shirts, were expressions of experiences they had had. And Kyle's a very interesting individual too. And just talking to her and finding out that we were kindred spirits. We were both nurses, but she's an empathetic person, not overly so. She's very much a business-like person. She's very efficient, and all of that came through, and all of that is things that nurses have to be. And knowing she was a nurse, I was looking for those things in her. I would recommend her for any nurses with their first scrub suits to, images that they have in their minds about nursing, memories that they have, even letters and notes from patients. You could make them an amazing quilt with that. And I just felt like she appreciated me as a human being. It just felt like a very personal, individual project that was being made. I felt like I was safe handing her my t-shirts. And as it turned out, I wasn't just safe, I was very happy. This is beautiful.